we did the Gemara in Masechet Ketubot. I'm going to go over it again. I saw yesterday the Machlokes Rashi and Rabbeinu Tam. I want to explain the Gemara.
Where are you going over again?
The Gemara Ketubot Kuf Aleph Amud Beis and Kuf Beis Amud Aleph. Itma. Ha'omer lechaveroi chayev ani lecho moneh. Somebody tells his friend, I owe you 100 Jews. Rabbi Yochanan chayev Osham Apot. Rabbi Yochanan says, you're obligated. Rabbi Shimon says, you can. What's the argument? What's the case? If he told the witnesses, you are my witnesses, he appoints them. My time in the Shlokish Kapota. Why are Shlokish exempts? If he didn't tell them, you're my witnesses, my time in the Rabbi Yochanan, the Kamechayev, he didn't say Temeda. He says, he can say, it's a joke. How do
you know there's witnesses before? How do you know that even in the Havamina of that Kasha? Where do you know that from?
We know that from the Gemara in Sanhedrin. It's a Mishnah and Sanhedrin. It's but always when the Gemara brings that down, when the Gemara knows, assume that even knows the Mishnah is. It's a Mishnah Sanhedrin, a Daf Choftet Amud Aleph, Ad Shoyoymu B'Faneinu Oidoloi.
What does that mean?
If somebody admits, it doesn't work, even in front of witnesses, unless the witnesses says in front of us, he admitted to us, which means he appointed us.
How do you know he's admitting? Maybe he's just speaking. Why is it admitting?
Not if that's what it says in the Mishnah there.
Okay,
Mishnah says that.
One
One second. Again, let's say we have two Mishnahs. We have a Mishnah in a Gemara. We have a Mishnah Sanhedrin that says that Oido doesn't work in front of witnesses unless he say you are my witnesses.
Okay.
And here we have a statement, Itmar, one who tells his friends, I owe you 100 Jews. Rabbi Yochanan says,
who says that to get her admitting that? You just said.
One who said to his friend,
that's it.
I owe you 100 Jews.
Who said that?
So that's Gemara wants to know what's the case. If he told the witnesses, you are my witnesses, why does Shloki's exempt? If he didn't tell them why Rabbi Yochanan is mechayev. So what is the case? Must be loyal. The loy come he didn't tell the witnesses, you are my witnesses. And he just said to his friend, I owe you 100 Jews. And he didn't tell the witnesses, you are my witnesses. So, what am I asking? What is the case here? The Omar Chavel Lechomone Bishtar Rabbi Yochanan Mechayev. Alim Misa the story. Command Omar Lu Atamei Daidomi. Rabbi Yochanan says, since you told them also by writings in a hina without signing on it, according to Rashi, that 100 Jews. So Rabbi Yochanan says, Alim is stronger as the shtar. Since I wrote it on a piece of paper, my statement, I wrote it on a piece of paper without signatures. So Alim Misha the story, the thing of the shtar is strong, as keman, as if I told them, you are my witnesses. And the Rish Lakish Omar Potu La Alim Milsa the shtar. The shtar doesn't make it strong. Which means, so we have Machlokes Rashi and Rabbeinu Tam.
That's the lesson of the Gemara. That it's as if he.
Yes.
Sanhedrin, what page?
Okay. Not Sanhedrin. It's a Ksubas Kuf Aleph Amud Beis 101b.
Sanhedrin.
Yes, not Sanhedrin. Ketubot. Who put in here Sanhedrin? What?
In the beginning, you say Sanhedrin.
I said Sanhedrin.
Yes, Sanhedrin.
I said there's a Mishnah in Sanhedrin.
Sanhedrin.
Yeah, but I'm not reading it Sanhedrin. I'm reading on Ksubas, and I told him the preface, the idea behind. How do we know all this information? How the Gemara knows this information?
What did the two study? Why you say Keman Eidim?
So we have Machlokes Rashi and Rabbeinu Tam. What's the case? 1 second, I'll explain to you. We have Machlokes Rashi and Rabbeinu Tam. What is the case? According to Rashi, somebody went to his friend and he told him, I owe you 100 Jews that I borrowed from you 10 days ago. From the witnesses. He didn't appoint the witnesses, but he wrote also a piece of paper without signing on it. So Rabbi Yochanan says, the strength of writing on a piece of paper are from the witnesses as if I appoint the witnesses. I can't say it was a joke. It's a joke when you write on a piece of paper, you didn't sign. But you don't write a piece of paper, I owe you, and you give it to witnesses, and you give it to the person or the witnesses, if it's not serious. So therefore, it's a serious against a Meshata. But the Shlosh says, no, lo alim is a shtar without a signature is nothing. Not strong. Lo alima. Alim means strong. Not strong enough. To say,
That means not alima.
lo alim is the shtar is as if he told him you were my witness.
Sakiri dik is the alima shtar, or is kemandoma.
That's what Rabbi Feisha asked. The Gemara says, Kemandoma. The
Kemandoma.
Gemara says, the star is strong as if I said, Kemandoma, I tell Meidai. Gemara says it. As if he said, I can't tell Meidai.
And that takes away Mishatani.
Yes. Yes, yes. This is according to Rashi. According to Rabbeinu Tam learns, Rabbeinu Tam, it's found in Kuf Beis, Amud Aleph, in a long place, Zaliba de Vedanas. It says, Rabbeinu Tam Meforish. He explains there that we talk about Kula Sugil Beloy Dor, Shelo Yachayev Lo Klum Mitchila. Lo Kol Machayev Ani Lecho, Mona B'Shtar Aynu B'Shtar Gomu Shechos Mo Eitev, Sheroitze Liishtabed V'Lischayev Lo Mona B'Shtar Zeh. ובאוק המפליגי, רבי רוצה מעלים ממילסא דשתור להקנויה בישטר זה, כמו שואל לבני עדים דומים, ונדים, okay. So what Rabbeinu Tam says? Rabbeinu Tam says, no, we have a good shtar. Not signatures, without, not writing, without signing, the whole, what Rashi says. No, no, no. He wrote with witnesses, a good shtar. I owe you $1,000 with witnesses, but he never owed him. They both admit it was never a debt. But the fact he wrote such a thing, can a person obligate himself or not? Like Medino, that's the halacha, right? That's the police can explain this Gemara. Medino, it's called kinyan udisa. Udisa, somebody admits, even though he admits it was alone, even though the story was never really true. But in the admitting, he says, I owe you money, even though how I owe you money is not true. But a person can obligate himself. Medino, that's what the church says. No, shot. That's how it works. You know it. Say again, that's the case according to Rabbeinu Tam, that when a person writes on a piece of paper that I owe you and he signs witnesses and he gives in front of Eidim sign on a piece of paper, is as if he said, you are my witnesses, and he admits and he's chayav anuchiyud.
So what do you mean in front of witnesses? You say that the star is saying it makes them.
I wrote a complete shtar, and he wants to mishtabed. He wants to obligate himself and to mishabed himself and obligate for him 100 zuz. And Rabbi Yochanan says the shtar is strong to maknik as if the same way he admit in front of witnesses.
So there wasn't witnesses. So there wasn't witnesses.
Same way if a person admits in front of witnesses and he appoints them, he says, I owed you money from me for the reason. When it was a real story, also here when I have a shtar and I signed it with witnesses that I owe you the money and it was never really alone, then I want to be chayav anuchiyud,
and it's a kinyan.
and there's a shtar.
With a kinyan.
No, shtar.
It says that kluye.
Where?
The Gemara tells us.
Where?
I'm going to la kluye b'shtor. This is kluye.
He wants to be shtabed.
Rabbi Yochanan saw about Rabbi Shtor la kluye b'shtor. And we say that with a kinyan. That's it. Rabbi Yochanan alima misa b'shtor la kluye b'shtor. Like he made a kinyan also kinyan.
Gomar meshabed nafshi. Since he wrote the shtar, so the shtar is gomar mekana nafshi.
With a kinyan.
Even though shtar doesn't work for metaltelim,
But it's a
shtar
kinyan.
doesn't work in the metaltelim to stay kasha.
But it's a kinyan.
He said, I am metaltelim b'shtar. There's no one oil v'torach lemichtav shtora. Gomar meshabed nafshi namu. Afilu ba'amiri yesh lo jeni. So the Maise that he wrote the shtar is not the kinyan.
What this is a kluye?
I'm answering you. You're asking, I'm giving you an answer. Even though shtar is not koine metaltelim, but the Maise that he does mishtar shows that he's meshabed nafshi. He's meshabed nafshi with words.
Maybe what that means is she.
Mechayim himself, a person can mechayim himself. What?
Actual Kenyan.
I can't hear two words. I cannot hear two people
Like
speaking.
you know that.
Yeah, what?
Like you came like all
No, so,
Like
We
you
give it
know,
up to
like you now shake to be all.
good. Yes, what do you want, Rebbe
If
Shmuel?
we say that there was an opinion on the side, we're not gonna talk about the subject Tosafos is talking about. We won't understand what Tosafos is really saying if we say there's a actual physical opinion in the thing.
Right, there's no kid in the thing.
There's no opinion in the thing.
There's no kid in the star. There's no kid in the star. They want to know, it's a kid in his words. Normally words is not serious, but when we know it's serious, like a person obligated with words in marriage. The Gemara says when they're getting married, when there is shiduchim, words that make serious and the one that makes people's does. Also here, when I wrote a star, that I owe you the money, that I said I owe you 100 Jews, and I wrote a star, so it means I'm serious about it. I want to mechayim myself, and I couldn't mechayim myself on numchiyim. This is Rabbi Yochanan. Shlomo says,
Wait, just a second.
yes.
You said the witnesses that signed on the star, or witnesses that are standing and watching what's happening?
Signing on the star that what he said is true.
But
What he
they
said is real.
They admit as a witnesses because why they talk about.
Same way if I admit of what the witnesses and I said I may die and I appoint them, I can obligate myself on an old story, right?
And why they
The Rabbi Yochanan wants to say that I can obligate a new story through just words alone if I wrote it in the star. So Alim Amil to the star is strong to show that I'm chayev, that is gemius das, like if I admit, like Hemoy. Not that the star makes it at the Meidai, like Rashi. Rather, it's like at the Meidai, like when it was a real chiyuv before. And at the Meidai, it obligates him, but when I write a star, is like that. But here's a new chiyuv, that's the subject. So now let's turn the page. Kuf Beis Amudal. Toshma. Come and listen. Reb Leib. Reb Leon. Leib. You have a piece of paper? So get yourself together with us. And you should come every day on time. He wants what? Refuah Shleimo. Baruch Hashem. So now you come back. I come back. Baruch Hashem. Leib. Need your simcha. You need a simcha. Toshma. Come and listen. If somebody wrote to the Kohen that I owe you 5 shleim, the Mishnah in Bechoira says, if somebody wrote to a Kohen, I owe you 5 shkalim, so then he's obligated to give it to him, and his son is not redeemed. We have Machloikas, Rashi, and Rabbeinu Tam. What's the Toshma here? Say Machloikas there, we have Machloikas here. It's a double Machloikas. According to Rashi, according to Rabbeinu Tam. Sorry, I made a mistake. In this point, there's no Machloikas. I made a mistake. Rabbeinu Tam explains that the Gemara's Dimyon by the Toshma is somebody wrote to a Kohen that he owes him 5 zuzim, chamesh kalim. He doesn't say for the sake of redeeming his son. So do we look at it like Rabbi Yochanan, he can have a new chiyuv? He has a new chiyuv. So therefore, he needs to pay as a new chiyuv. And when he pays, his son is not redeemed because he paid as a debt for a new chiyuv. Then do the chiyuv pinyan haben. So according to Rabbeinu Tam, is very good dimyon. Was right, Rabbi Yochanan. It's exactly the same. No chiyuv. According to Rashi, the subject matter is an old chiyuv. What's the right from a new chiyuv to an old chiyuv? It's a kal vachomer. If a new chiyuv, a person can obligate himself, surely an old chiyuv. Okay? This is the way we learn the Gemara. According to Rashi or according to Rabbeinu Tam? What do you say?
Why did that?
I'll explain in a second. What do you want to say, Melech? I'll go over it again. Yeah.
The shtar is not an extension of the old field.
According to Rabbeinu Tam, no, that's the case here. Somebody wrote to a Kohen, Ani chayav lecha chames laim. That's all. No, you didn't say for pidyon aben like chayav already. That's a maskona. The havamina was is the chayav a new chiyuv. A new chiyuv. So the Mishnah says he needs to give him chames loy because he obligated him to do chiyuv when he wrote the shtar on the reading. But his son is not padui. Why? Because even when he pays the debt, the new debt, not with the debt of the opinion of Ben. So according to Rabbeinu Tam is a good dinyo. We see like Rabbeinu when a person can mechayiv himself. But according to Rashi, the dinyo is a kal vachomer. If a person can mechayiv himself a nuchiyuv, surely when he writes it on a shtar in front of Eidim, surely he can mechayiv himself an old chiyuv. He is as if he appoint the witnesses to say at the Meidai, and it's not a joke as an old chiyuv. Same idea. It's a kal vachomer.
That's because
This is the kal vachomer.
he didn't.
If a person can obligate himself a new chiyuv when he writes on a shtar, surely when it's an old chiyuv when he writes on a shtar,
That's it.
and the other one is definitely serious and kal vachomer that he obligates.
That's,
Wait,
I don't
I
see that
didn't-
that's a kal vachomer.
It's a kol shtick.
That's because the person didn't write in the shtar that I give you 5 salamim to pidyon
I'll
aben.
explain you why before Yecheskel. Because it works harder, or more works harder to obligate yourself. A new chiyuv or an old chiyuv? An old chiyuv.
Who says they connected? Who said you can connect this to that subject to this subject and then connect them and make some kind of relationship? Who says that didn't mum is in the relationship like that? That's not in the bad crime. You want to make up things, this and that, and compare them, so you can compare anything you want, apples and trees. You know, who said you have to compare those two things? If you want
Yeah,
to.
first you define it as apple and trees. We want to say it's both apples.
Well, you said, no, you said-
Small apple, big apple.
Old and new, but who?
See where we're reading?
Yeah, okay, but old and new.
It's a kal vachomer. That's what.
So what's the relation with old and new? What's been a relationship with old and new? Where's the logic to that?
The subject matter is when I do something, when I moide in front of witnesses, or when I write a new chiyuv on a shtar, is it something which is serious and the act obligates me with my words, or when I say at the Meida, it's a serious statement and I want to obligate myself, or is it really admitting, really obligating myself, or really admitting? That's a dinner. That's a kal vachomer. If I say I can obligate myself a new chiyuv and with words, how? Because you see, I'm very serious. I wrote a shtar and I signed it. So that shows me that I'm serious, right?
Right.
So surely, when it's not a new chiyuv, it's an old chiyuv, and I do it, I write on a piece of paper in front of Eidim, and I give it in front of Eidim, shows that I'm a serious thing, and therefore I'm really admitted, and my admission is admission of obligation on an old chiyuv. That's the kal vachomer. That's the logic of the kal vachomer. The logic is in the seriousness of what I do. That's a kal vachomer. Okay. Okay. That was the havami. What's the maskon in Moses? Shiny awesome there is different. The meshubad lei midorais. There is different. Is meshubatim from the Torah.
Which one's the The old one, the new one?
What?
The old one, the new one is between the Torah.
Oh, here, this is where the thing turns. Even according to Rabbeinu Tam, anybody, he says, no, there's different. He's making a mistake. When he wrote ROU 5 shkalim, it's definitely, since it was a debt before from the Torah, Shibur from the Torah, he definitely meant the 5 shkalim for the sake of Binyan Aben. Not a Ruchi.
But Rabbeinu says in the
1 second. And even according to Rashi, that when I obligate myself, when I admit on an old debt, Resh Lakish says no, and Rabbi Yochanan says yes, Resh Lakish will admit here. Because since is a debt from before, from the Torah, so therefore you say that I couldn't obligate myself with a shtar, even without witnesses, even without appointing the witnesses. Why? Because it was a ktsat shiabun before.
So why?
There was a little bit of shiabun to the shevet, to the tribe. Even a shlokish will admit that you could obligate, admit an old chiyuv, even when it's at the maid as if you appointed. This is serious. Why? Because it was a debt from before. The Ksas Chiyuv. Ksas Shibud from before.
But the Rashi,
Rashi and Tosh is the same now.
no, he says Ksat, not Ksat.
Okay.
Maybe
Okay.
Rashi knows different.
But the point is the case is the same now.
But for the whole tribe.
Case is the same. That the Gemara now says no. Here is really the Chiyuv. Even according to Rabbeinu Tam, it's not a new Chiyuv. Rather, it's an old Chiyuv because it's a Shiabud, and it works because it was a little bit Shiabud from before. It was just what I need is Chiyuv. Yochi, the Gemara says, I might cause a didn't write all together. The Varla coin is a discount on another coin. Yochi, if so, why his son is not redeemed? If it's an old debt, and when he pays on the old debt. Which old debt? Opinion of Ben, why is not redeemed? Omahulo, the Omahulo. Valtoiro, when he pays it, is from Torah's exempt because the writing was on an old debt, and now when I pay the money, real money was on an old debt. On which old debt? On Pinyan Ben. So really, from the Torah, the son is redeemed. From the Torah, when he gives the money. In my time, what? No, not twice. He gave a piece of paper that he owes him, and that's once, and then he pays the money. That we call it twice, not twice money. Two stages. Okay. It's not a real kesef. The word like. It be like, I want the money, I don't want like. You can stay with the like.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
1 minute.
1 minute. My time. And what's the reason the rabbi said, the son is not redeemed? It's a decree that people say that the money later on is not what made it. What made it was the star in the beginning. Star alone, like you said, star alone was like money. And we know star is then guvay mamay. Or, that's just two options. Or people say that star works. And even many stories, even star chov da'achein, which is a guvay mamay. Star chov da'achein maybe it is mamay.
Then they'll start.
Rashi has two pshatim, is that clear?
Start trying to do things with them with other stars.
Yes.
You don't
But-
want that.
Right,
Make
because
it
then
exact.
guvay mamay. Here Rashi has two explanations. What is the Gzeir? Those two explanations are not brought here in Ksubas Kuf Beis. The two explanations is in Bechoros Nun Aleph Amud Beis. Rashi is Inam, he has two pshatim. He just brings one pshat. In Bechoros Nun Aleph Amud Beis, there Rashi says Inami, two pshatim. Here he brings one pshat, and Bechoros brings two pshatim. So I'm really saying two pshatim. Okay? Now, why the reason I'm doing it? Because it'll be easy to understand. My goal, which is the choice. Let's go over here. What is the Gzeira? What's the case? What's the law? What is the Gzeira? Tu pshatim Rashi. The case is the father of the son wrote on a piece of paper, I owe you 5 shkalim. Which 5 shkalim? An old debt of the Pinyan Ben. It was a shir min norais. It never meant kontra maskono. Not a new chiyuv. No, it was an old debt. So why his son is not exempt? Not redeemed when he pays the money. The answer is Gzeir min Rabbanon. What the Gzeir min Rabbanon? People would say that shtar works. That shtar did not the money. Which shtar? Any shtar even shtar chov da'acherim. And shtar chov da'acherim is not guvay mamon. It's only a proof. But what about the shtar that he wrote here? What is that? Two pshatim. One pshatim Rashi says is not part of the Gzeira. He will say this star, other star. But the people would say this star. It's not such a bad thing. It can work. Why? The Rashi doesn't explain why. Inami Rashi says, no, people would say that the money didn't do it. The star did it even without paying money, because the people say star is like money. And star chov didei is not money. Two pshatim. People would say star are others. If here works, really the star did it. And even star of others, of somebody else, third party did it, and that's the end guvay mamay. But we don't have a problem with this star. People say this star did it. Because this star could be really money.
It could be money.
Could be money. Star chov didei, it's money. We have Rash, we have Toises and Rosh holds that star chov didei, it's money. And not only that, the choice have a side, and maybe it's guvay mamay.
That's not Rashi.
What?
That's not Rashi.
If Rashi brings two explanation, means one is one. There's two sides.
But look at 3 stones. Who says it?
So Rashi brings, in Ksubas he brings, that the Gzeir was, that if you would say that when he gives the money, the son is exempt, is Padui, is redeemed, he would say that Shtar did it, and Mali Hai Shtar or Mali Hai Shtar. Which problem will have? Shtachov Dachim. And Shtachov Dachim is Gufo Moment. Why Rashi have to jump to Shtachov Dachim? Say, people would say it's not the money that did it, it's this Shtar did it that he wrote. And this Shtar is no good. Why Rashi have to jump in to Shtachov Dachim?
So that's a question, you can't say the answer is the other.
What's a question? But in Rashi in Bechoiros brings up Bechoiros page 51b, he brings Inami. No. The Dixere is if people say that if the baby is going to be redeemed with the money later on, people would say that what did is the shtar, the beginning. Even if you don't need to give the money. And in fact he paid the money was just to pay the debt of the shtar, but what really did it is the shtar. And shtar of himself is no good. Why? Even though shtar himself should be good somewhere else, maybe it's no good, not because two options, go for moment, or because he didn't give something new. Was a debt from before. So depends on the two sides of the story. 1 second before you show me. Depends on the two sides of the stories. If you hold shtar of the day, it's momoin, gufo momoin. So then why here will be a problem if people say that this shtar they did it? It's gufo momoin because it was a debt from before. So therefore you didn't give something new. Normally it was no debt before and I gave a shtar of the day, he'd be gufo momoin contradictions. Here why it's no good, this shtar of people say this shtar of did it because of debt before. It's one option. Or no, shtar of the day is not momoin. And therefore, Rashi says, Inami, if they will say that the money later on did it, people would say that really the shtar in the beginning did it. And shtar chov day is also in gufa moment like shtar chov dachei. Two reasons why, if people say that the first shtar is no good, the first shtar did it is no good, two options why it's no good. Or because there was already a debt before, really it's gufa moment. Why is no good? Because the debt before. Or no. The shtar chov before, if the money later on they do it, just this shtar chov did it. Why it's no good? Midoraisa, because ain't gufo moment. So it could be or because the debt before I didn't give anything, or because they gufo moment. 1 second, relax. Those are the two options to explain what's the gzeira that the people say. If Ula says if later on when he gives the money, I'm going to be redeemed the baby from the Torah and also from the rabbis. The rabbis don't like it because people would say that the money later on didn't do it. The shtar in the beginning did it. And the brought some shtar in the beginning, or because already a debt, so I didn't give anything, even though it's good for moment. Or was the debt before they do it? Or because in Kupamoin, the two study of the Kesois we saw can be two options and he explained this shot. But Rashi, he and Ksubas didn't say none of that. He didn't say that Exeo will be by that if they will say the money later on did it, he will say that the shtar did in the beginning. No. They would say if this shtar can do it with the money later on, another shtar can do it. Shtar of acherim in a gufo moment. Why did he say this shtar? Because Rashi understands according to this shtar that this shtar is gufo moment, and there's no problem. There was originally a debt because Lamaisa I gave you, although there was a debt from before, but I gave you something. So this is an esina and gufo moment, and the only problem is shtar of acherim. That's all. That's all I want today.
You give it.
Yes.
According to Rashi, you give it.
Yes, according to this pshat in Rashi.
But they say the Rashi and Bechor was inside.
Which Rashi is explaining? This Rashi by us.
Yeah.
I understand.
Bring the biyun avel.
But I understand. That's Rashi by us. Talk about Rashi there in Ksubis.
Okay.
Rashi Ksubis, Rashi brings two explanation. What was the Gzeir? If later on when he gives the money, if you would say he's redeemed, there's a Gzeir that people would say not the money man did it, the shtar did it, and if the shtar can do it, shtar of others can do it, it's not so good. But Rashi doesn't have a problem with this specific shtar. Just mali hai shtar or mali shtar achine, and shtar of others will be a problem of of En Guf HaMamon. What about this star? Why does that problem with this star? He will say the money didn't do it, the star didn't. He didn't. The Rashi Ksubas doesn't have a problem with this star. Why? Like the choice that is Guf HaMamon. What about it was a dead before? He doesn't care about the dead before. It is not in the Sina. It is in the Sina, and there's no problem. It is in the Sina, and there's no problem in Guf HaMamon. That's Rashi Ksubas. But Rashi in Mechoiroi says the first pshat will be a problem with this star. Without giving money will be a problem. Why? Two options. Or because En Guf HaMamon, or because of that before. Rashi in Masachet Kidushin that says that there was a shtar chov. How can be a shtar chov? There's no problem of a dead before. There's no dead before. Not Pidyon Abin here. There's a Kedeshos. The only problem will be that En Guf HaMamon. That's why it doesn't work. Right? So Rashi doesn't care about En Guf HaMamon if the pshat is shtar chov. There's no problem with Guf HaMamon. And it is Guf HaMamon. That's the choice. Because Rashi Nafei, and he says shtar chov day. And there's no problem of a debt before. There's no debt before. It's not Pidyon Abin that the father had a debt to redeem the child. Talk about the Kedeshos. It was an auction to redeem a land, and he comes on his own and wants to redeem. So there's no debt from before. So now there's no problem. There's no Messina here with Shtach of the day. The only problem will be not in Guf HaMamon. Rashi says Shtach of the day. It is Guf HaMamon like the second pshat next choice, and the way the Rashi learned in Rashi. Only problem we had with that, so it's kesef. It's not shtar. And so as we said, like the makne, it really is a shtar kinyan, and the chov is just to redeem the hegdesh, and it's considered kesef for redeeming the hegdesh. Same thing. Okay, that's all. What?
It's a start.
Yes, it is. Yes, that's according to the makne. Those are the options we have in Rashi and Kidushin. Tomorrow we'll do more Rashi and Kidushin. What? The star kinyan. Not star is chayvus. We said it's both. The star kinyan is chayvus. I'm over for the Egedish Travcha. We'll see tomorrow more in detail. But we gain it among Ksubas, go over it well. You have to see Rashi in Mechoiros Tupsha and Amud Beis as to Inami Tupshatim. That we'll do in here. Rabbi Hanan ben Akash in the Rosh HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Zak Yisrael Lefika Yehuda Mishravan before I say Kaddish. Today we have a Yotzan of a mother. That's a memory. So we're going to start talking.